I call this the quiet escape. When I was 16, I escaped China. Over the last 50 odd years, I met so many people who left China, and no one have a similar story. It's hard to imagine now you can go into China with a visa and go out. At those days, it's called the bamboo curtain. It is impossible, close to impossible, to escape China. And every year, many people, thousands, hundreds, many people, trying to swim, trying to escape China in different ways, risking their life and actually die. Welcome to Shanghai, China. I started my Chinese journey going to my hometown first, which bring back a lot of memories. We have a family reunion of the Lam's family from different parts of the world together with the people who grew up in China. That was very wonderful, very emotional. After that, I went to Shenzhen. Shenzhen is a city right next to Hong Kong. And 54 years ago, when I left China, I went past Shenzhen. It was a little fishing village. And I was there for about a week to 10 days. I was stuck there. And I have no idea what my life would have been if I couldn't leave China. When I was in Shenzhen, now it's a huge city with 11 million people. And I went to the museum and I saw some pictures of what happened at the time when people tried to escape China. They went to Hong Kong and was caught by the police in Hong Kong. They were sent back to China. And their face, the family who were sent back with the kids in his bag, it just brings me back to those days. And there are pictures of people who then back to the village, and they have a huge meeting with hundreds, thousands of people, with the guy who tried to escape bowing down, and he was being shown, criticized, degraded. And I know if he didn't die, his future in China would be totally doomed. Those things bring back memories. And I didn't expect to see these pictures in Shenzhen. It just shows the differences. I'm so happy. Life is so much better in China. My story was a little bit long. It started from Aunt Lotus. Aunt Lotus is an aunt related to my father, and she was an amazing lady. She heard about the Great Famine, which most people in the outside world did not know. News in China was so well controlled. There's no internet, and nobody had anything to pass messages. So China was able to control it so well that while millions of people dying in front of the rice storage by the government, which is full of rices, Mao even sent food and money to poor countries to show how well China is doing. Meanwhile, millions of us are dying from starvation. So it's a different world, totally different. So Aunt Lotus heard about it,
and her mother and sister were in China. So she was so brave. She find a way, kind of semi-smuggle into China, bring food, money to her mother, and she asked to see me. So that's about 2 years ago, or maybe 1.5 years ago. She asked to see me, and she was so kind to me. But what I didn't know was she went back. When she gone back home to father, she told my father, "You have to get Paul out there. He has no hope, no future. He's dying, and he's not going to be having a life at all." So father said, "Okay, but there's no way. I don't know the way." And Aunt Lotus used the people, they must be quite powerful, who helped to smuggle her into China to establish a way to semi-officially get me out of China. So this organization, I think the underground organization, found a man who come from China but live in Hong Kong, and he going back to pick up his wife and kids. And they also found another person who come from Cambodia, which is near Vietnam. And they take his passport, and they take this man, the Mr. Wu, and they take his photo and insert his page into this genuine but now false passport. So Mr. Wu came to China, and the reason why we need Mr. Wu was the Chinese government says officially Paul can leave because his parents are not here, so we let him go, but he has to be 21 before he can go. Otherwise, he need a guardian to take him out. And so Mr. Wu was nominated guardian by my father through this organization. So he came, and of course, communists know everything. They put him in jail straight away for trying to smuggle me. And somehow there must be some very strong organization. And my guess is that there's one official they didn't bribe. So after 3 days, he was released. And so for the second time, Mr. Wu sent a message and said, "Okay, Paul, pack up, we go tomorrow." Well, at that time, even though I was 16, I know nothing about outside world. I was poorly educated. I thought I was really dumb. My world is my aunt's. And I realized it's true. I'm leaving my aunt. I couldn't see it as true. I couldn't accept it. And my brain was just numb. I was in tears every day. And I didn't realize really how grave the situation is. But anyway, Mr. Wu took me and we went. And nowadays, from my village area to Hong Kong, it's only 2-hour train. But those days, it was a long way. We're in the bus for a whole day before we reach the border, which is Shenzhen. Shenzhen used to be a little fishing village. Now it's a huge city. And what I did not know was that when you get permission to leave China, does not mean you got permission to enter Hong Kong. Every day, Hong Kong only allows several people to go in. There's actually a population of people in Shenzhen who's been there for half a year waiting to cross the border and waiting to bribe the right officials. And I was a dumb, ignorant 16-year-old. I had no idea. But we were in a hotel, which is pretty crummy in my nowadays standard. But it was great for me from such poor and horrible background. And we actually have some decent food. So I kind of enjoyed that bit and learned from leaving my aunt, and I had no idea how dangerous it is. because right behind me, later on, I found out from my schoolmates, they make me anti-revolutionary, they make me a hidden poisonous element. They say in school, I seems to be normal, seems to be very pro-communist, but now I'm going to Hong Kong, going to the capitalist country. This guy is a poison, and if I ever go back, like a lot of those long-term residents in Shenzhen, if they come back home, they in terrible trouble. So even though I was black, it can be even more black in China. There's no limit to how much they can treat you. So I didn't know any of those, but Mr. Wu got direction from the organization. So he taught us leave Shenzhen and go through to Macau. Macau that time was controlled by the Spanish or Portuguese. But at that time, Macau was controlled by the Portuguese country, just like Hong Kong was controlled by the British government. And that part was easier to get through. So we gone through to Macau. From Macau, we take a boat to Hong Kong. And I got seasick. It's only a couple hours, I think, 2-3 hours, ferry drive, but I got seasick, I was really sick. I didn't know what's going on, but I did remember when we got into Hong Kong immigration department, we didn't quite get through. We were asked to wait in this retention room, and we waited, and we waited. And Mr. Wu is such a cool guy. He seems to be relaxing, smiling all the time. I never see him look so white. He was ashen, and thinking back, he knew we're in trouble. And then after, it must be forever, the door opened and the immigration department person come in and smiled to Mr. Wu, and whoa, we're in Hong Kong.